Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NXT The Game Season 3, Episode 131. This is NXT Rage, the first television show of the new season. Let's waste no time and get straight into the action. Tonight, NXT Rage is being held in front of 7,861 people at Louisiana's Shreveport Convention Center. The show opens up recapping much of what happened in the Season 2 finale before setting on the highlighting what's coming from the roster in Season 3. The camera fades into from a large NXT chant as the new NXT Heavyweight Champion Drew McIntyre is in the ring. Drew McIntyre with the championship smiles in the ring and says that it's been a long time since he's held the gold, referring to Season 1. Drew says that if you work hard, pursue your dreams, anything is possible. So if you're out there watching and you don't think you can do something, you're wrong. You can do anything you put your mind to. You can. So Drew's cut off here at 92A to open it up. The announcing, well, look at that, pretty weak. Drew McIntyre in the ring as a new champion is cut off 92A. Let's see who shows up. A loud Lars theme plays, much like Braun Strowman, as the formerly of Resistance. Coming over in the NXT Superstar Shakeup, Lars Sullivan shows atop the ramp. Lars makes his way down the ramp and towards the ring, not stopping to play to his music, and Drew doesn't move an inch. Lars gets into the ring, stands across from Drew McIntyre, and off mic begins to scream while poking the NXT Heavyweight Champion that I want that. Drew smirking says, bring it on, big boy, as Drew McIntyre is finally one of the small, well actually this is probably the first time Drew McIntyre is smaller than the man he's opposing. He stands straight across the ring from Lars Sullivan, face to face. Before Lars can send out a swing, William Regal's theme hits and it quickly makes his way to the ring. So a 90A was not expecting this. Lars Sullivan and Drew played great together, it looks like. The announcing was weak. My announcing quality is pretty good typically, but Drew is extremely over, so it's going to be a problem, obviously. Angle got the crowd hotter. The Lars Sullivan's Rage and Drew McIntyre reign supreme have advanced and began in this segment at 90A. All right, William Regal says while walking down that as you can see, Lars is the newest member of the Rage brand via the NXT Superstar Shakeup. And Lars, despite Drew being game, I'm just not going to make an NXT Heavyweight Championship match the first night of Season 3. I think we learned from the first night of Season 2 that it's not a good idea. The fans pop, getting the inside joke, obviously. Bobby Roode and Mr. NXT having the match at the beginning of Season 2, Mr. NXT cashing in, then another rematch at the championship because Bobby Roode, okay. Go back and watch the Season 2 premiere. Basically what happened was Bobby Roode had won the championship back, almost put it online against Bobby Roode after winning the championship to end Season 2, or to end Season 1, Mr. NXT then cashed in. Then Bobby Roode the same night invoked his rematch clause, and it was absolute mayhem. Couple all that with, as he left, Brodus would stand at the top of the ramp and declare himself the contender. It was a bonkers first show for Season 2. So basically William Regal saying after that long-winded segment that it's not happening again. However, Drew, if you're up for a fight tonight, it'll be Drew McIntyre versus Lars Sullivan in our main event. Drew nods, a fighting champion. Lars is undefeated. Let's not forget that. And Lars, if you manage to defeat the NXT Heavyweight Champion tonight, you will be high atop my list when it comes to determining who gets the first opportunity at Drew McIntyre. Granted, if Drew retains against Bobby Roode. Lars nods. William Regal, then it's official. Tonight, it's going to be Drew McIntyre versus Lars Sullivan. Hear this line, Drew retains against Bobby Roode, basically reminding us that Bobby Roode is in fact due a rematch against Drew McIntyre in the near future. 93A, absolutely brilliant segment. Lars and Drew apparently are great together, which is going to be good. Hopefully they're both brawl-based wrestlers, that they have a good match as well. Lars and Drew segment have advanced. A 92, 90, 93 out the gate. Season 3 is off the hook already. We get a brief split screen of TJP and Will Osprey walking to the ring. They'll face off next. 68C+. In a decent match, TJP defeats Will Osprey in 12:54 by pinfall with a fast roll-up. The announcing quality lifted the match, adds to the color commentary. At 59 and 59 for TJP and Osprey, the storyline has advanced but gained heat. 58C-. After being quickly rolls up, Will Osprey looks to the Titantron where the injured Velveteen Dream's voice could be heard screaming, "Willie, help my Willie," as TJP has rolled out of the ring with his hand raised by the referee. Velveteen Dream not on the screen, but clearly the Titantron's video causing a distraction. The camera focuses on Will Osprey, who lost based on the distraction via the Titantron and is beyond confused as to what just happened. TJP has stolen one tonight over Will Osprey. So the Dream in a Flight, which is a Will Osprey and Velveteen Dream segment, has continued, obviously, and kayfabe. Velveteen Dream hurt himself in the Money in the Bank match, so he is not currently wrestling, but he'll be around. 68C+. All right, next up, in an extremely short match, the NXT Heavyweight Champion Authors of Pain defeat Andy Levine and ZZ Coupe, both from Tough Enough, actually. When Akam defeats ZZ Loop by pinfall with a super collider, they were borrowed via local just to absolutely crush them. 97 and 96 for Akam and Razor. Holy shit. 23 and 20 for Loop and Levine. The storyline has advanced but lost heat. Razor is improving in flying skills. Why? I don't know. 60C. As the bell sounds, Akam and Razor, the Authors of Pain, stand up looking at one another as they're handed their NXT Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. Akam and Razor, now flanked by Rachel Ellering and former NXT Women's Intercontinental Champion Ruby Riott, stand in the ring. Rachel, with a microphone, boasts about the Authors of Pain's NXT Heavyweight Tag Team Championship defense at NXT Takeover Legacy 2, or WrestleMania, and takes full credit for Tommaso Ciampa turning on Sami Zayn, stating that the predetermined doom is what led to Ciampa losing it, which of course is not true. Rachel says that next week they're going to come down to the ring, Akam and Razor are going to issue an open challenge, and whoever is brave enough to brave the challenge can have an NXT Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match right there on the spot. Because we are out to show the world, more now than ever, we are NXT, we are unopposed, we are unstoppable. Not just the Authors of Pain, but the Ellering Dynasty. So it's been a year since, Rachel Ellering now has taken over her father's stable of the Authors of Pain and added Ruby Riott. She's done very well. 89A. She didn't look good here, though. Akam looked great. No skill improvements, but we're off to a really hot start for tonight. Next, we see the newest member of the NXT Rage roster, Kylie Ray. Former Mae Young Classic participant is walking to the ring. She's also here as part of the NXT Superstar Shakeup, coming over from NXT UK. She makes her NXT TV debut next. 48D. Alright, and about that, had decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. Kaylee Ray defeats Sonya Deville in 8:36 with a gory bomb. The announcing quality lifted the match. The color commentary gave the match a boost. Kaylee Ray and Sonya Deville had in-ring performances of 48 and 49 respectively. Sonya Deville is improving in performance skills, 56 C-, and I'm a little bit bummed. I'm happy that Kaylee Ray and Sonya Deville in a non-diva-based eye candy match got a 56 C-, but I'm a little bummed because TJP and Will Osprey only put up the same rating. I would have thought they would have gotten a much better rating than Will Osprey and TJP, but it is what it is, I guess. I'm just a little surprised that their rating was as good as it was. 56 C-, or should I say, theirs, Will Osprey's and TJP's was as bad as it was. 56 C-. Next week, a rematch from NXT TakeOver Legacy 2, though, however, will air on NXT television, as Io Shirai puts up her newly won NXT Women's Intercontinental Championship against Ruby Riott of the Ellering Dynasty. Io Shirai invented a new catchphrase that will likely boost her ability on the microphone. Well, that's fantastic. 73B-. Also, next week it'll be glorious as Bobby Roode will be here for the first time since losing his NXT Heavyweight Championship. 79B. And in the main event, and about that is superb wrestling and great heat, Drew McIntyre defeated the undefeated Lars Sullivan in 1905 with a future shock. Drew McIntyre had an 84 and Lars with a 70, and it looks like they had very good chemistry together. Lars, thanks to working with Drew, is improving in performance skills. 77B. The referee's hands hits the mat for the 3. However, Lars Sullivan kicks out right at or barely right after, depending who you ask. And as Drew McIntyre's music instantly begins to play, Lars attacks McIntyre, who kicked out, and is now attacks McIntyre as McIntyre is on his knees. Lars, to his own feet now, throws Drew out of the ring and into the newly moved announcer's table as the fans boo. Lars is slow to give chase, but Drew on his feet and lays in a few body shots. Lars proceeds to put Drew's head between his legs and quickly pulls him up, jolts him back down through the announce desk with a massive big-time main event level powerbomb as the table crashes to beneath his feet. Lars walks over to the Drew, who briefly, Lars walks over to Drew, who's barely moving and puts his foot on the NXT Heavyweight Champion. Lars, one of maybe a handful of wrestlers who can make that Drew look small. Lars Sullivan, while losing to Drew McIntyre and losing his undefeated streak, has just destroyed, though, the new NXT Heavyweight Champion Drew McIntyre. So in 89A, 90, 92, 93, 73 matches, I believe this program is going to be fantastic between Drew and Lars Sullivan. And I'm absolutely glad that I decided to give Lars a rocket strapped to his ass here, because it looks like he's game, finally. After about a year of just absolutely crushing everyone, he comes to Rage in the Superstar Shakeup, actually loses, but that's okay. Everybody cannot be undefeated, and I'm okay with that. So Lars losing to the champion here cleanly also isn't a huge deal, especially as the way we proclaimed it is he kicked out, kind of like Ultimate Warrior and Hogan kicking out right at 3. So he beat him, but not really. It counts, but really it was a close call. So an 89A, this is going to be an 80 rated show. This was a great show. An 81B, absolutely freaking fantastic. First episode of NXT The Game Season 3 in terms of NXT television. But this was NXT The Game tonight. Season 3, Episode 131, NXT Rage. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you again in a couple days at Resistance. But until then, have a glorious rest of your day.